Sabah everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk to you guys about car entertainment systems and how it pertains to navigation and the options that you get. You have Android Auto, you have Apple CarPlay, as well as the built-in systems inside of cars. They give you access to all of the functionalities that your normal entertainment system gives you. But when you plug in your Android device or your Apple device, you get so much more. So let's go ahead and see which one offers you more, Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. First thing we're going to start off with is the infotainment system that's built into the car. This is the Ford Explorer 2017. This is the Ford Sync 3. The reason I wanted to show this to you guys, it actually has some functionalities between the ability to play music directly from XM, Sirius XM, voice control, the ability to make calls using a Bluetooth connected device, application support depending if you have them installed on your device, as well as traffic information. Now this is augmented by the Sirius service, so at some point you won't get all of this information if you don't have Sirius subscription. The other options that you have on the market now is Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and what happens when you plug in your device. So the first thing we're going to do for you guys here, and I'm going to plug in my Android device, my Galaxy S8 Plus, we're going to turn on Android Auto. Android Auto is very simple. Once you plug in your device, the interface takes over the entertainment system here. You have a home button in the middle, you have access to Google. Show me the cheapest gas around.
Showing results for cheapest gas around me.
So it gives you listings to the gas stations, tells you how far they are and how much the gas is going to be at that location, and you can just start navigating there. For mapping services, you have the ability of using Google Maps or Waze. Now, arguably they share somewhat similar databases between the two, but you do have the option of picking between the two here within Android Auto. As far as music, you have the ability of picking between multiple services, and you can actually even add more. I have Amazon Music, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Pocket Casts for my podcast, and then of course Spotify. And then whatever you select, you just need to select it, and it takes you in there, and you have access to playlists the same way most of the functionalities that you have on your device. And if you want to switch over to make calls, you can just switch in here or just use the Google's Assistant and make calls using that. And then going back to your normal entertainment system, you go here. The last thing I want to mention about Android Auto is the voice command within the car. Once you actually turn on Android Auto, you notice a couple of things. Maps gets taken over by Google Maps, and the voice commands within the car are all automatically taken care of by Google. It's no longer taken care of by the internal Sirius system. So other than that, you actually have the same functionality as anything else. If you want to change your entertainment system outside of Android, meaning you want to listen to XM radio or FM radio, you just go back into the main system, select audio, and then switch over to the actual input that you want. Let's switch over to Apple CarPlay. Apple CarPlay's interface is slightly different. It's similar to the way you have it on your Apple device. Essentially, it's applications with a griddle, and you can switch between them. You have applications that are showing here because they're compatible with CarPlay. If they're not compatible, you are not going to see them in here. So the only way to see it basically is plug it into an Apple CarPlay system, and you'll be able to see what's compatible. Your phone, your music player, the default Apple Music player. This is Apple Maps. This is not Google Maps. Same functionality. We do have a home button here on the bottom left. Messages, now playing. Sync takes us directly into the Ford Sync system, and similarly to when you're in the Android Auto system, once you plug in an Apple device for Apple CarPlay, Maps is automatically taken over by the default app. Last but not least, we have the applications that we can add: podcasts, audiobooks. Google Play Music is compatible, TuneIn Radio, Pandora, and Amazon Music. There's a lot more functionality, a lot more apps. I couldn't put all of them on my device, but just wanted to show that to you. And similarly to the way we have it in Android Auto, we have the connection, how many bars, as well as the time. We don't have battery level here, so we don't get to see the battery level on our Apple device. We only get to see it directly on our Android device. We still have access to Siri. So you want to say, "Hey Siri, show me the local gas stations." Now the interface is slightly different. It gave me access to the local gas stations. It gave me the start, the destination, and I can map to whichever one I want. Of course, I can always just go back into the Apple Maps and then just say select gas station. I can select restaurants, and it'll do the search. Again, it's doing all these searches directly off of my phone, and that's the beauty of it. Now, final verdict between all three systems. The way I like it, and the most functional one that I find, is Android Auto, and that's mostly because of one more thing. The reason why Android Auto has a little bit more functionality and a little bit more options as far as anything else, it's also because you don't actually have to have it in your system. So if you have a car, let's say, that doesn't have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto compatibility, or even no maps at all, you can install Android Auto on your Android device and get the same functionality, the same interface that you get in the car. All the applications show up the same way. You can turn on the maps, the phone service right there, and you have the ability of selecting your music player. Very functional, very easy, and you can exit it if you don't want to and go home and just still have access to your device. Finally, as far as the decision of what is the best system and what is the most functional one in the car. Now, the built-in one is always going to be more functional because it's integrated to the system and that's how it was designed. But when you look into what you can do with the actual infotainment system as far as music, entertainment, as well as also the best option for maps, I feel like Google and Android Auto gives you the best options. You can pick from two different services. You have either Android Auto, Google Maps, or Waze. Also, you have the ability of picking from all of your different services of music, and it also works on your device without necessarily having to have it inside of the car. Now, if I plug in my device, it becomes more hands-free and very functional, but again, keep something like that in the car will give you a much better experience. My car is shutting down, so that brings us to the end of the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Have you used Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, and what do you think in the car? What do you think gives you the best edge and best experience? Like and subscribe as usual, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.